That again.
Yeah, no, what was the place called in Enfield?
9 Street, Enfield.
Oh, right.
And
How come there was water under it?
and it was underneath the floorboards, and so because when it rained, it filled up under the floorboards because the land was so low-lying near Cook's River.
Really? It flooded?
And it flooded underneath the house. And my father...
Pneumonia?
Didn't I put this on before?
No.
The father had, I got pneumonia then. The father, Dad had got hold of a pump, and he had to install the pump under the floorboards. He made a hole in the floorboards in the dining room, and he lowered the pump down, and he would pump put on the electric pump to get rid of the
Remember when we had
water.
to have all the water here to heat this place?
Yeah.
We had to sit. I remember sitting, watching TV with a black and white TV with water around our feet.
Yes, that was terrible, wasn't it?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember watching McCall's Navy.
Yeah.
We always used to watch McCall's Navy at 6 o'clock every night.
Ron got a man to come and dig a hole right through the floor and put in a
in the stairwell.
8-inch pipe all the way down, stainless pipe right down. Yeah. We couldn't tell where the water was coming from. It must have been seeping.
We knew it built up in the stairwell.
Seeping from the rocks in the stairwell.
So anyway, you pumped out all the water in the house?
And then we'd turn the pump off, but the damp would rise up because there couldn't have been proper dampness fixed into the bricks, and the wall would have a wriggly line around the wall where the rising damp came up.
Did you still get sick? That wasn't good after.
We used to get sick.
After you got pneumonia?
No.
So then you went to high school?
No, from there I went to primary school, which was Croydon Park Public School, and I'd walk from Enfield, Yandala Street up to Croydon Park. And I stayed there till 6th class, got a bursary and went to 4th Street.
What was a bursary for?
You sit a bursary exam in those days as well as your, what they called then a primary final.
Right, is that to get money to go to high school?
Yes.
So you had to pay to go to high school just to help the family?
Help the family with getting books and things.
So not many, you had it very poor then?
Yes, very poor because it was all still depression time really. And Dad was...
How much was the bursary?
I can't remember that. No, I can't remember that. I suppose it wasn't that much, but it seemed an awful lot then.
Was 4th Street the only school you could go to, or did you choose that school?
No, you had to go to the school that you were allocated.
Yeah. Do you think that'd be closest to you?
But there were only 5 high schools.
You're kidding.
That's right. 4th
Really?
Street, 4th Street, Sydney Boys High, Sydney Girls High.
Are you serious?
4th Street Boys and 4th Street Girls, that's 4. And what was the 5th one?
I can't believe it.
Liverpool, I think.
Is that it, in the whole of Sydney?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Only 5 high schools.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It must have been huge.
No, but there were
Didn't I like
intermediate high schools, like Betty went to intermediate high school.
Where did she do that?
Ashfield.
Oh, intermediate.
And so she went to intermediate. So she went for 3 years intermediate.
You didn't go to H.
Passed her intermediate, and then because her sister was at 4th Street, she was allowed to go to 4th Street.
Oh, so the intermediate didn't go up and do the whole leaving certificate?
No, only 3 years.
Okay. So then
And Bernie went to, she couldn't get into a high school at all. She got into what was it called? They taught
college.
cooking and dressmaking and things like that.
A business college or something sort of thing, or some sort of...
Yes, it's another name,
Tech.
but I can't remember what it was called. Home science.
Oh, home science, right. Yeah.
So
you went to high school. What did you study in high school? Latin?
Yeah, the first year we didn't have Latin, we had French and science and maths and English, drama, things like that. And then in second year, you could pick up another subject. So I picked up Latin, and I picked up Latin and German. And I did Latin, German and French in second year.
Did you have to do them or do you want to do them?
The principal told me I had to do them.
Right.
And then we did the 2 maths. And
what were you best at?
English.
Were you good at maths from an early age?
Yes. And
did you win a lot of prizes?
And then in third year we did the same. That's right. That was the intermediate year. Passed the intermediate. And then in fourth and fifth year. Fourth year I did, I think, 13 subjects or something.
God.
Because the principal, who was Fanny Cohen, very, very well-known administrator, and she wanted me to do all these things, but I wanted to do mechanics. So she said I could do mechanics providing I kept the languages, so that meant I had to do those and those.
What was it, the science subject?
Yeah, mechanics. So that was really physics.
Oh, physics.
But it wasn't physics.
You didn't call it physics?
No, it was only a section of physics called mechanics.
Right.
And so I did that for the high school certificate, the equivalent of high school certificate.
How many girls did that?
5 girls. Marion Anderson and me. That's 2, and 3 others.
You didn't do any technical, like, sciencey subjects then, or? You
No,
science?
we did chemistry.
Chemistry.
Yes. And the reason why they let me do, I was the instigator to want to do the mechanics, because I want to do physics and chemistry. And they said, no, we haven't got a physics teacher. But the maths teacher said she would teach mechanics. She was very good. And she said, if we formed a class. So we only had 5, but they allowed us to have the class. And so that was mechanics.
Are you good at it?
And yes, and the next year, then we did that for the equivalent of high school certificate. And chemistry, physics.
How did you go?
I dropped German and dropped Latin because I couldn't take all those subjects.
No, you can't.
And just kept the French, Maths 1, Maths 2, and English.
What did you do? You just got a certificate called the Leaving Certificate?
Yes. Certificate, yeah.
What was your best subject? Maths?
Maths. And anyway.
And so when you finished all that, how did to go to uni? Did you get a scholarship to go to uni or something? Or?
Yes, we got. You had one thing that paid your fees, so that was a what's it called?
Bursary.
No, I got a bursary as well, but anyway, if you got that, if you won that paid for your fees.
Fees for university.
Yeah, fees to university, and then the bursary went to your mother to help pay for you.
So you didn't have access to that money?
No.
Really? Went to her?
Yeah.
How interesting.
And what was the third thing you got? Something else?
Did Dad get a scholarship as well? Bursary?
Yes, he got a special bursary as well as that one. He got one because his parents, he applied for this one because his parents were so very poor. And so he got a special one because of that.
They was really desperate, were they?
Yeah.
Because did he only live with his mother then? His father died by then? Or?
No, I think his father was still alive then.
Oh, right. But he didn't have a job?
No, I think his father was driving, very early days, steam. First it was the horses, because he used to move people for Grace Brothers.
Really?
and horses were in the front.
Horses?
And then he went into steam,
Joke.
and he
Steam?
drove for Grace Brothers, moving house, moving
Steam what? Vehicle?
vehicle to move
Are you
house.
serious?
Like a big truck. Yeah.
Run on steam.
Evidently, I didn't see it, but so
And was that as the years when his father used to go and look for rabbits out in the river, or was that earlier in the Depression years?
no, I don't know about his father, but Ron
Oh no, Dad
Ron
used to do
used to do
Yeah.
that.
But that was earlier. Was that when he was a child, like a teenager? You didn't know him then?
No, he did that when he was going through uni.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Well, so when you knew
went
him,
up
you
with
did
with his cousin Doug.
that. Oh, so you knew him when he was doing all that?
Yeah,
Selling flowers and
yeah,
getting rabbits from
that's
the
right.
boat.
Yeah,
Oh, so they did that when they were young.
yeah.
Oh,
So that was when his father had two beagle hounds, and the beagle hounds used to go on the boat up the Georges River,
yeah.
and they used to hop in the water and swim with the boat.
One
and
day.
One day they were both taken by sharks.
At the same time.
I'm not sure about that, but they lost both beagle hounds to sharks
Yeah, I
in
wonder
the
where-
Georges River.
I wonder where it was in the George River. How far up? When was this far up?
It was up further, I think.
Yeah. That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So anyway, back to you. You were at school, so you did really well.